Hello everyone. Welcome to the YouTube Model Builders Thursday night general hangout. Thursday's hangouts are for the general discussion on model railroading that we all can set a topic to discuss for the night. Thursday's hangouts are the proud sponsor of the Tuesday night presentations, the YouTube Model Builders, eMag, and the YouTube Model Builders live show. Howdy everybody.
Hey, Johnny.
Yep, here we go. Alright, we're live. And maybe there won't be any more screen hopping now. Okay, I want to say hey to everybody. Let's see who we got on the panel tonight. We got Newcastle. Got Mr. Mark over here. Andy. And we got Mauler Man Mike in here. He's having a little problem right now. And Google is being a little finicky for him. They can't get his mic and microphone to work, so he's working on that, so hopefully he'll make it in here in a little bit. So say howdy to everybody. Jim says sound was funny on end of the beginning. That's probably where I was doing the transitioning, Jim. Hopefully. Yeah, it looked like the sound was really blasted, so I did turn it down a bit right there, kind of towards the end. Yeah, the intro, yeah. Yeah, I was looking at the monitor real quick, saw the sound was up. Oh, right at 100%, so I turned it down a little bit, so that might cause that you heard. You know me, I'm still trying to get the settings right here. And I don't have anybody presented, but yeah, it's holding on Andy. Can you hear me okay, Jim? You said it sounded okay, didn't you, Andy?
Yeah, it was a little hot on the intro, but I thought that could have been my setting as well. And in my opinion, what really matters is that everything sounds semi-equal. So at my volume and Newcastle's volume at my, everybody on the panel, if our audio and your audio is relatively equal, then somebody can turn their volume up and down a touch to adjust it, and it'll be fine. But
yeah, okay. He
I'd
says
wear somebody out. But I'd wear somebody out if they had to turn it down every time I spoke. So
yeah, he he said it's working good. He could hear you. He could hear me. He said it seems good.
we'll take it.
Yeah, so far the only one we've got here on the chat is Jim. So, but I'm not seeing the camera switching on the video.
Yeah, that's just a Hangouts business too. So
Yeah, right now it's stuck on you, and I'm not presenting you.
yeah, that's not that interesting right now either. So
Well, I
if you
just switched to Mark to see.
yeah,
Yeah,
if you click on somebody else's and then click off, does it stop that business?
I'm not sure. I gotta wait till the lag goes by. Yeah. Well, you were talking when I clicked off, so we'll see what happens.
That is a statistical probability.
You and I are the only two talking, so yeah. Anyway, Well, I'll tell you what. We'll just go ahead and maybe talk a little bit about next week. We've okay. There's Curtis. He's in the chat now. So
Hey, Curtis.
hey, Curtis. We got
Hey.
special. What Newcastle?
No. Nothing.
Oh, okay. We got a special show coming up next Tuesday, October 18. Miles Hale is up in Toronto doing some shows for Trainmaster TV, and he asked that. I asked him if he could possibly use the studio, and they said sure. So they're letting him use the studio, the cameras, to do a special show from Trainmaster TV on our channel here for us. And we greatly appreciate Trainmaster allowing him to do that. That was very nice of them. I want to say thank you to them. But Miles and his wife Fran are going to do a structure build from the very start to the end, right there on the show. And that's going to be really interesting. And he could possibly have, some guests. We're not sure. Whoever might be hanging out there at the studio at the time. I'd probably try and drop a few names, but I have no idea who could be there, so I'm not going to drop any names. I always get in trouble when I do that anyway. But you want to stay tuned for that. That will be 9 o'clock Central Time, 10 o'clock Eastern Time. So check your time zones so you don't miss out. Even if you do, hey, don't worry about it. It is going to be recorded, so you will find it on the YouTube Model Builders YouTube website. And how you doing, Sparky 107 107? Hope the weather up there is good. Getting a little cool down here in the south, that's for sure. We got down in the 40s about 2 nights ago.
That's pretty cool. That had to happen.
Yeah.
That's all right. That's railroad season.
Yeah, at least the days stay up around about mid 70s, and today actually got up to about 80. But it's cooling down. So you want to stay tuned for that. October the 25th. October 25th is going to be the Barry Mike show. Let me get scheduled out here and see exactly what Mr. Barry and Mike are going to be doing on 25th. All right, that's going to be JMRI Signals Part 1. Prior to that, they did signal controls on the layout. Now this one is Signals Part 1. I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure exactly what that could be. But it's probably setting the signals up so they'll fire when the train goes through. So right now, I really know nothing about the JMRI. So I'm not much help to you on that one. But, hey, David, how you doing? Yeah, evening back to you. Yeah, y'all can't. Well, yeah, you can. Y'all will be able to see Baller Man Mike when he types in the chat because it's coming across the stream. So, but we do have Baller Man Mike here, but Google is not playing right with him, so he can't get his mic and camera to work yet. He's working on that.
What kit are they doing for that next Tuesday?
Yeah.
What's the kit they're building? They
Uh,
decided.
don't know yet. They were going to make that decision sometime, I think, today.
Testing 1, 2.
Hey, Mike, we got you.
Hey, I'm sorry, man. I don't mean to talk over you. Just trying to get this thing going here.
Hey, that's fine.
Hey,
That's
Mike.
fine.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, I'm used to you kicking me around anyway, so.
Yeah, I've kind of been missing it. Hey, Johnny, can you? I know you guys are already doing this. Maybe I ought to do it another time. I'd like to participate. Would you mind like sending me an invite to my branded account, and let me see if that lets me link in there.
What do you call your branded account?
The modeler man Mike. Let me see if I have the.
I sent you an invite. I'll send you another one right now. Of course, it's going to show. Okay, never mind. MOD.
Well, I went and looked. I don't see any. I thought Andy was going to send me one. But
All right,
that's
I
Mike.
can't.
Mike, the only thing I've got here is your Mike01 at Gmail. That
I'm
it?
taking care of it.
Is that it?
Actually, that's not the branded account.
Okay.
It's weird. It's like I don't know how.
That's the only thing that's coming up here.
It's all.
I just
it's
sent
all
you an
mis-
invite from the channel, a direct calling invite to this too, to the Bottler Man Mike branded account.
let's see.
And if you don't see that, I'll try it again. So you can be looking for it.
Well, I certainly don't want to tie up this Johnny
Hey,
show with this stuff.
we'll take a few minutes with it because people want to see you. Let me read what Big Bill's got here. Hey.
How's my mic sound?
Oh, it sounds great.
Better than most.
Yeah. Big Bill says the man, the myth, and the legend. Mike, what's up, buddy?
Why isn't he in here with us?
You know him. He's camera shy.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, he is. So,
So
he's saying you're famous or infamous, one of the two.
yeah, Big Bill's got. He wants to throw out a question here, so throwing this question out there. Who wants to be on the live show this Saturday? That's going to be October the 15th. Rules of engagement. Number 1, must have a working webcam. Uh-oh, there went Mike. Oh, Mike's got a camera now. Wow. Rule number 2, a decent, if not a top-notch internet service.
So that probably means that you'd have to get foreign contributors then, since our internet in the States is kind of subpar.
All right, Big Bill has another question. Hey, Mike, you want to be on the live show this Saturday?
Am I breaking up? Am I breaking up?
Well, there went Mike's internet.
I know. I'd love to. Yeah, Bill. You know, if you want me on there, you can get me anytime you want. Anytime. And I know you call me. I'm supposed to call you back. You know.
Uh-oh, you in trouble now.
Yeah. But there is one good thing, and I don't know. I think, Bill, you're on my son's Facebook, but he just finished his radiation. He's technically cancer-free, and if I didn't have this 2-year-old running around here, I'd probably be in here a lot more. I'm afraid to put a model on this table. It'd be destroyed, but sure, Bill, you bet. Just send me the info, and I don't know, maybe you might have to remind me, but
Yeah,
but
Bill
I do
said
have
he's not feeling the love, Mike, after what you did.
Yeah, I've just been so terribly busy with everything. I've got like a lot of my house. I've been working on my house nonstop, trying to get everything back together and trying to get my son back together and trying to get my just like it's life,
Yeah, well,
but
mine just had 2 hip replacements. He had the second one 2 weeks ago. This past Tuesday, we were at the doctor today. And he took staples out, so we got to go back next Thursday. Though he's got to do some other stuff.
let me just so you make sure I got it, Bill. I mean, call me or maybe we'll hook up or whatever and let me know what you want me to do for the show. But yeah, if you want me on there, but I'm gonna try and get some more light here. So you guys go ahead and I'll be here. Just holler at me.
All right. That yeah, we don't know what building Miles is going to be doing right now.
So Walther's cornerstone kit of some kind. Barry Silverthorne is contributing it. He's the owner, operator, contributor of Trimester TV in kind of collusion with Joe Fugate from Model Railroad Hobby as they put that project together. And he's been so kind as to give him the studio and the professional lighting and professional cameras and all that capability to do a really awesome show. But he also said he had a big collection of cornerstone kits, Walther's cornerstone kits to do. So Miles and they were just going to pick some of those kits out. He's supposed to pick that out maybe ahead of the weekend and announce that so that anybody who happened to have a kit like it or similar, and a good many of us have those Walther's cornerstone kits, can kind of hop on at the same time and talk about our.
I just want to say quick, I just saw he was in my hangout last week, like doing the kit. He was working on it so we can get it going.
That was something different, Mark. That wasn't a cornerstone kit, was it? That's for the Amherst show.
Yeah, he's supposed to pick it up. He's supposed to be up there like today or something. He said he was going to pick one out. But I mean, he's been traveling. He's been traveling a bunch. All said and done, he's going to have been away from home for 2 or 3 weeks by the time he gets this done. So he's anybody talks about not having enough time to model, go look at what Miles does. Granted, he's retired, but that's a guy very dedicated to this hobby.
Okay, I'm here. Where is he?
He left.
What's up with that?
Nah, he had to go get some more candles and flashlights so he'd have a little better lighting.
Candles.
Oh, man.
Nah, he'll be back. Mr. Ron in Australia, how you doing? I must be seeing things just turned on. And is the mic I see? Yes, that is Mike you see. He'll be yeah, I'm echoing now. He'll be back in a few minutes. He's kind of, that corner he's in is a little dark. He's going to go try and light it up, then get back on camera again.
So, Mr. Chrisman, how are you, Dwight? How's everything going?
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you 5 by 5, son.
I've got a problem. I'm visiting my son, and all I want to do is park the car.
Park the car?
Yeah, I can't speak right anymore. Mark would understand.
We up in wicked cool Boston.
Yep.
He's not
Beautiful
going. He's
weather.
not going to be going to the bar. He'll be going to the bar.
That's right. And the weather's gorgeous.
Yeah, the bar. Well, how are you, Dwight? Had a long time no see, my man. What's up with you?
My brother, I know. I'm constantly going. I get home and I right away get on another plane and I'm out the door.
Oh man, you got it going like that?
Yeah, well, and my son wanted to go out to Portland, Oregon for a conference and take his wife with him, so we're babysitting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's something. Y'all in Montana, you go to Boston to babysit, and they go all the way across country to Oregon. Okay.
Exactly. Isn't that funny? Yeah, he's doing a conference out there. He's giving a lecture. Yeah, and his wife doesn't get a chance to see him much. So I said, well, now you two go out. You two go together out there and enjoy it. Enjoy the trip. Well, they got out there and it's raining every day, all the day while they're there.
Well, that's Seattle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Portland. Yeah, Portland.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Portland. That's the Northwest.
Isn't
Yep.
that the truth?
Yeah, Washington State's the one that really gets more rain than Oregon, but
Yep. Yep.
It's kind of, in my experience being out there, it's a little more like Florida in that it does rain every day, but it's just little kind of short bursts. Where we don't get rain every day here, but boy, when we get it, we get it.
Yeah. Well, I'll stay. I'll keep my camera off because if I left it on during the live show, here I am.
Why? You'll have, because we'll finally get, oh, there you are in your Thomas the Train pajamas. I have Thomas the Train slippers. Every time I walk, they go, woo, woo.
I actually did watch that the other day too.
There you go.
oh, Muskogee Steve, how you doing? Been a while. Yeah, hopefully we got the audio worked out now.
Oh, Muskogee, he had some new video, or he had posted a new video or two, some updates recently. Looked really good.
Yes.
Ask Mr. Muskowski if he wants to be on the show.
Well, you just asked him.
What'd he say?
He hasn't replied yet.
Due diligence, man. Due diligence. It's getting tougher and tougher to get you guys on TV, man, on internet.
Well, everybody's getting so popular here. They get so busy. They're running around with movie stars and buying sports cars that, oh, never mind. That's something else.
Yeah, I know. The YouTube channels are blowing up, man. They're getting, what, all 600 subscribers?
Well, what about the YouTube model builders? Is up to almost 1,000 now? 900 and some.
999.
999. Big celebration Saturday night, bro. Big celebration.
Got to hit that 1,000, man.
I'm gonna unsubscribe and wait for that $9.99 to reappear, and then I'll sign back in again to get the prize.
It turns down to $9.98, so it's not. You still got to get somebody.
Hey, Mark, are you going to work tomorrow?
Uh-oh. I got there.
Yes, I do.
Okay, I'll be down. Steal that train while you're at work. Just leave it on your porch.
All right, Dwight, hang on a second. Andy, check screen. I lost audio. I lost the video.
Still streamed video. It's focused on Dwight. Nope, it's on me. You got video.
Yep.
No, not on my end here.
I can see you.
Yep.
Yeah, I can see you.
Live show's alive and well from what we can see. The Hangout looks healthy. What are you not seeing?
I'm seeing a black screen. It says an error occurred. Please try again later. And it gives me an ID code. Hang on there, Dwight, please.
I think it's just your page not loading, or try to refresh your page a couple times, see if it'll come up. It may have to do with your internet connection, which you are streaming out and a part of the Hangout, so you actually being able to watch the live YouTube channel at the same time. That's a pretty heavy load.
All right, it's back. My live stream health is in the green tonight, so.
Not green?
Yeah, I'm in the green, so that means it's as high as I can get.
Yeah, I've been jumping over there and looking at it every now and then. It seems to be good quality. The health seems to be okay. So.
I had to go. Oh, can we talk, or you still working?
Hang on. Muskogee Steve has asked how to get on the panel. Steve, if you go to the community page, you'll see where I've got it posted about the Thursday night hangout. Down in the comments, you'll find the two links. The live stream is the top one. The panel link is the bottom one. Just click on the panel link and it'll bring you right in.
Here you are, Steve. There's your link in the chat. Oh, it won't let me send a link. I forgot that.
Yeah. Well,
I forgot the chat won't let you send links on this. That's so annoying.
Yeah. Here comes Australia. How you doing, Andrew?
Not bad, mate. Not bad.
Hey, mate.
Yeah, I'm just taking a break from the Scouts.
Andrew, take a look at the list and see who's in the room now with us.
Bill Graham.
Yep. Apparently, there's some big guy named Mike.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend, model of man, Mike. The one.
Yay!
Don't everybody applaud at once.
You see me blushing.
You still owe me
I'm
that
blushing.
$10, bro.
Texas tornado.
You still owe me that $10, man. Every day I go to the mailbox, I check, I don't see nothing in there.
Do I owe you $10 for something?
If I said you do, you do.
All right. Yeah, I'll send you a 20. I'm sorry it's late.
There you go, bro. There you go.
Now, hey, Bill.
Yes.
Bill, what happened was when he came down your street, he dropped it 3 mailboxes down. He missed yours.
Oh.
I was going to say he sent it from when he was still over in South Korea, and it just hasn't made it here yet. Mail be what it is.
So are you monitoring anything there, Mike? Or are you just still doing?
What's the question? What do you want to know?
Are you modeling, or are you still taking care of that 2-year-old granddaughter of yours?
Yeah, I was just telling the guys a little bit ago. Skylar's free from. Well, they don't technically say he's in remission. So, but he's gone through his last radiation. He's done all of his chemo. He's doing really good. He's working at Amazon in one of the warehouses.
God bless him.
Yeah. So, when he's working, I'm taking care of his little daughter, and just it's a fight every day to keep her out of this room. So I'm a little reluctant to start building anything.
I know they make this great product. You can get it in the hardware store. It's called duct tape.
Yeah, yeah. But the dark closets, the dark closets.
Put a long sleeve shirt on, like a little sweatshirt. It doesn't leave any marks on the arm. As long as you feel it.
I could have done with a couple of 100 rolls of that duct tape when I was at camp last month.
There you go.
My wife's okay with
that'd be a good job for Mike. Mike can come along. Mike, you can come along to camp and teach the kids to do some modelling. There's only 1,400 of them, all about 9 years of age. That'll keep you out of mischief for a while.
Yeah.
I want to jump in real quick and say, hey, Raymond J. He said, hi, catching the show live for a change. So how you doing?
Yeah, we got a whole new technology going on here, Mike, a whole new way of doing things, man. You thought last time was good. This is better. It only took us 6 months to get here.
I think working with the crew we worked with Johnny and a few of the others, it took us a couple of months to get this going. But I'm not seeing so much of a difference really, but I know that I can't get logged in with my branded account. That's pretty frustrating because, when people get on here and they want to go to my Google account, they go to this. I don't know what the heck it is. It's just some kind of garbage account, really. But
also, people can't find you by that account the way you used to on Hangouts on Air. With this, the way we're doing this, the way we had to do this now because of Google, it's all YouTube Live, not Hangouts on Air, Hangouts Live. So nobody can actually find you by a name because you're in the middle because they don't see any of that stuff. So you have to tell them where your channel is, basically.
Oh, you do? That sucks.
Yeah, it's a totally. They killed Hangouts on Air, and it's a massively different thing. And Johnny's having to run a piece of software on his computer and all kind.
I got 6 monitors now sitting up here. Boy, I tell you what, I'm going crazy.
But you like that, nerd. I know you do. You're all nerdy like that.
No, actually, I'm running 2 monitors now to try to get all this going. Hey, Steve, how you doing?
Not too bad, guys. My audio okay?
Yeah, great.
Sounds good.
Can I just say one thing? Is Johnny blacked out? Because he's blacked out on my end.
Yes, I am. I'll be there. I'm still here. Don't worry, Mark. So keep your shirt on.
It's just shy.
Hey, Johnny, mate, you're not up doing what I'm doing. I'm watching you. I'm watching 4 other kids' chat rooms. Hey, Mike, you got someone crawling up behind you, mate.
Did anybody go to Train Fest in Milwaukee?
Honestly, no, I didn't.
No,
Where's it going?
It's still coming.
Middle of
Coming in
November.
November.
I've thought
Yeah,
about
nobody's-
coming up to that one, but I'm going to target the Amherst show this year. So
Uh-huh.
it's a good one to go to. I definitely want to make it up there.
Yeah, we'll be there this year again. A local group of NMRA guys go down every year, about 20 of us, and do some modeling in a booth there.
The Milwaukee show?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, so
they
you're
get
not
about
doing a
17,000.
clinic?
Yeah, and they have clinics now too. I did a clinic a couple of years ago. Most of our guys do some clinics as well. It's a pretty good show now.
Good.
How many people do you usually attend that show?
What's that?
How many people? It's a weekend show?
Yeah, it's a full 2 days, about 17,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
And is it in, and where is it? Where do they do it? In an arena or
In the Milwaukee Fairgrounds. They have a couple of years ago they split it into 2 buildings, and they have most of the layouts located in one building, and a lot of mostly vendors and other booths in the other building. So, but it's a really good show, and about 3 years ago they started having clinics and stuff on site as well.
Nice.
Yeah, I have attended that. That is an excellent show.
Yeah, there's a lot of people are saying, other than maybe the specialty shows, that it's a tough call between Trade Fest and Amherst, the top 2 shows. That's what everybody I've heard says. That's your 2. And then you got some specialties, the fine scale exposition and the narrow gauge convention. Those are great, but they're very targeted audience.
Yeah, much smaller, more craftsman style. Yeah, we did Amherst this year for the first time as well. A lot more vendors, that's for sure.
Oh, that shows that's on steroids. That train show.
Yeah.
I should have made Amherst. I should have made Amherst this past year. I was convinced I was going to go up to it, but then NMRA was coming up close to me. I was like, all right, I'm going to hold target that one. But I made the wrong decision. I should have skipped over to NMRA no matter how close it was. Amherst is a show, and NMRA wasn't much. So.
The NMRA one was Indianapolis?
Yeah, Indianapolis.
Yeah. Which it was easy for me to go to. It's relatively close to me, etc. But
right.
It just went. It's been a few years since I've been to an NMRA National, and they were better before, or maybe it just that particular one wasn't that great. And there's a lot of people said it was a good show, but it was.
Yeah,
small.
I've been to a lot of the NMRA ones, and they can be good. They get some really good vendors there, but not as many.
But all the big boys that you would
Most
expect.
of the vendors definitely target Springfield.
Yeah, according to Miles Hale, he's been to all of them. His opinion is that the Train Fest has more actual model railroads running, where Amherst has more clinics and more vendors.
Yeah, I would agree. Although Train Fest is getting more clinics. I mean, they have pretty much 3 clinics running all the time. So it's pretty good.
Well, Amherst is really well targeted because a lot of the kind of cottage industry, model railroading stuff has kind of cropped up either on the West Coast to some small degree, but largely in that New England area. There's so many of the people from bar mills and these laser cut people like Monster Model Works, etc. They're in that general area anyway, so it's just a natural fit for them to be at Amherst.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I know last year, Mark Mills, the gentleman that owns it, we were talking to him at Amherst. He said that he wasn't going up because they were so close together in daytime. He wasn't going to the fine scale. They weren't going to be fine scale because they were right. It was like March, so you know.
Yeah.
But that was my first time in Amherst show, and I was totally. It was an overwhelming. You know, it truly.
I
Was
remember the videos you were posting. I think you did them from your hotel room.
Yeah, I was like.
I remember that. I remember how excited you were.
Amherst has a lot more vehicles. I mean, they had a whole section just dedicated to trucks and different kinds of construction vehicles and stuff.
Well, they.
A lot more stuff on boats and barges as well.
Yeah. Can I just?
Go ahead, Mark.
They did that in the later 2000s. They decided to add in the main building the freaking 187 scale diecast stuff for the guys have their own section.
Okay.
And they have vendors over there too and stuff.
Yeah, it's all related, so it's pretty good. Pretty good. Speaking of laser kits, I just started working with the new company, Imagine That Laser Art. Actually, they've been around for a while, but the company was sold a couple of years ago, and the new owner, he's actively adding to the line and the number of kits that they market, and so I'm going to try building one of their kits at Milwaukee, and do a video on it as well. So
good. I look forward to that. I really like their product line. It's been somewhat limited, but the things they make are just first, like a lot of the cottage industries.
Yeah,
from Econoras to some of these others. What they're doing is just filling such a niche. It's not a replication of what everybody else is doing with some subtle differences. It's unique.
Yeah, and his kits I find are like I do the 80s era, and his kits are a little more modern than a lot of the Bar Mills stuff, or a lot of the wood and laser kits. So he's doing a lot more factories and that kind of industrial look, but not modern. Not metal siding and so forth. So they're still brick buildings, and the laser kits they fit together so nice, a lot better. I mean, the style is similar to what I find with the Downtown Deco kits, but this will be my first laser kit building it. But it seems to go together a lot better than the plaster one.
Easier to complete the plaster, and it gets you really close. It's still a big improvement over styrene for plastic. And that's why I like the Monster Model Works stuff so well. That their brickwork is really, really refined. It's not as good as Hydrocal. That's pretty hard to touch, but it's pretty close. For a quarter of the effort, you can get really close. That 90-10 rule. Yeah.
Yeah, the Monster Model Works, they do a similar one. My understanding is Monster Model Works, they use a basswood or a softer wood.
Yeah.
Get a little more texture than Imagine That Laser Art. They're using more of MDF, so it's a little harder, a little more defined or crisper look than the Monster Model Works brickwork.
Yeah, and Monster Model Works went out of their way to get that more aged, textured brick, which for a guy modeling 50s, 60s is absolutely perfect. But it would be relevant in the 80s as well. However, if you want structures that were built in the 70s, still a lot of them out of brick, you'd probably want something a little crisper.
Yeah.
Amazing the differences that you have to kind of coalesce around to pull off an era.
Mm-hmm.
I just got to jump in here real quick since Andrew's here. Raymond J is over in Queensland. I think Andy might know. Andrew may know where that's at. And the Redneck Railroader said, good to see you, Mike, and great news about your son. Got a thumbs
Where'd
up
you say?
from Mike.
Where did he say he was from?
Queensland.
Did he say what part?
Nope.
That's that little island out there somewhere.
Right. So is there got to be more than one part?
Yeah, I didn't know there's more than one part of Australia.
Australia, it's an island.
But thank you for the comments there. I appreciate that. We're ecstatic that we've made it through this. It's been a long road.
Yeah.
Yeah, Australia's the only continent totally surrounded by water.
It's an island, isn't it?
Yep.
About the size of Manhattan, or is it?
Oh, no.
All right. I tell you what, Andrew.
Yes.
I'm not even going to try and pronounce this. I'm just going to spell it out for you. You ready?
Yep.
CABOOLTURE.
Got me on that one.
Kabul tool.
Caboolture. Caboolture.
Yeah.
Well, you got a bunch of southern, southeastern United States boys trying that.
That's right, Kabul tool.
Yeah, this is hooked on phonics. Did not work for us.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't help if you don't speak the King's English.
We threw the king out a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lives about 2 hours south of me, if not even that.
Steve?
Anybody get hit with the rain? Anybody get hit with the rain or flooding?
Nah. I got wind out of it. That was it. I'm too far inland. I'm in Georgia. The Carolinas got hit pretty hard.
Yes, nobody from Carolina here.
We do have one, but he's North Carolina, and he was way inland also, so it didn't get to him.
Yeah, parts of South Australia got hammered with some bad floods just recently, so did Victoria.
Raymond said north of Brisbane.
Yeah.
Bisbrain.
Yeah, it's about halfway between me and Brisbane.
Yeah.
It's one of those towns.
Is this full already?
Yeah.
Man, we got room for one more, right?
No.
Oh, this is it? 9?
Yep.
10. I see 10 on here.
Oh, I was gonna say I thought 10 was the limit.
Yeah. 10's the limit. We got a full house.
Oh, I wasn't counting Bill. I didn't think Bill counted.
Just because you don't, Google still does.
That's funny.
What kid are you going to build, Steve, at the...
Whoa. Back that up.
And saying, I thought I was trying to talk behind your back, and I didn't realize you were listening.
I'm all ears. I'm all eyes over this place. When I get on a hangout, they say, "Uh-oh, here comes the principal."
That's funny.
Yeah,
I was that bad. I was that bad when I was at school. I had a permanent chair outside the principal's office, and that was 50 years ago. I guess what? That chair's still there. It's still got my name on it.
All right. What's that, Steve? Don't hold
Yeah,
it up too close.
yeah, very well. That's the factory kit that I'm going to be building. It's a most of them are background kits, but they're about 2 to 3 inches deep, and you can make different variations of them. So you can have one section stick out a little further than the other one if you want.
Yeah.
That's that what they call the
those wood?
3-in wood. They call that the 3-in wood or something. That can
Yeah,
be
They're wood.
What is that? Is that a...
3-in-1 factory kit.
Don't forget the full set or the full scale hotel.
Is that wood or what is that?
Yeah,
Steve?
it's it's wood. It's laser cut wood.
Okay. Do
Yeah,
you have
this-
one of those models
yeah.
built right now?
It's a big hotel as well too. Recently, and they went down to the fine scale show and went to see George Celios, and George Celios actually was. He said, "Oh, you're the guy that builds the hotel kit," and he was almost floored. My buddy Nick, that he was known by George Celios, and I got a real nice review from him and got him to sign some stuff for him. So they were pretty happy about that.
And do you have one of those models built there that you can show us? Any one of those laser cut models?
I just have one little wall section. Yeah, I'll grab it.
Yeah, it's hard to see some of this through this Google thing, but
Yeah, it's not perfect. And even the pictures on the side are a little. Wow.
Yeah, this wall section here. Now I've covered it with brick sheet. So this isn't their laser cut brick, but the nice part about the kits is their windows. I mean the muttons and stuff in the windows are nice and fine, and they leave some of them filled in so you can kind of weather them. They fit excellent. This one's just kind of 1/8 inch MDF that's made out of, but all the edges are keyed together, so they fit really well, and just with regular white glue, they hold together, really well.
So the brick that you put on there, it's is it a laser cut brick, and you just glued that brick onto it?
This one is from one of the companies that makes like a textured brick sheet, and it was just peel and stick, because this particular wall panel was just smooth, so I just did that over top as a background. But the ones
Do
that
you
come
have that in video anywhere?
I don't have the video on that. I will be making one when I do this, when I do the new kit.
I have seen some YouTube videos on that structure, though.
Oh, you have?
I know some guys that have made some videos of doing that structure. I
know Ron did a laser kit.
He did, and I was going to try to keep from saying anybody's name. I've seen a lot of people do for this reason. I've seen a lot of people do that kit. I've never seen anybody do that kit great. It's been fine. I just think that is an exceptional craftsman quality kit that can be done to an exceptional degree. And everybody I've seen done it fine, but I've never seen anybody do it great. And it has the potential to be one of those great kit products. So,
yeah. Well, hopefully I can do it justice.
Andy. You're looking at the guy that's going to do it.
That's why I'm so encouraging him to do that video, because anybody, and he give you some credit and prop you up a little bit, that your hydrocal structure is second to none. Actually, it was second to none in this community.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, so it's second to none by qualification, and hydrocal is a lot more difficult. So in a lot of respects, I have no doubt it'll be the best incarnation of that structure, and I've been wanting that one, but it's $200, which it's a Craftsman kit. Well, it's $170. It's a Craftsman kit, but I've been looking at FSM and South River Model Works and some of those to buy a couple $100 kit, and I just wasn't sure that was the best spent $200. So I need your video, and they'll get my money.
Okay. Yeah, they've come out with some other kits as well. I don't know if they show them built up on their website yet, but they've come out with quite a few really interesting structures. Trying to keep them in the $50 to $70 range, and you can mix and match them.
But I want to buy that big kit. I want that kit for a lot of reasons anyway, and I want a large Craftsman industry kit to go on the back wall. I've just been so reluctant to spend it there. When if you buy an FSM kit or a South River Model Works, you absolutely know unquestionably that's first class. But when it's a different brand company, I just want I want to hear from more modelers before I drop $200 on something other than an FSM or South River Model Works. But
that one, Steve, those buildings, those warehouse flats, what company makes those?
Oh, it's called Imagine That Laser Art, and ITLA. No, imagine that laserart.com. Put that in the comments. Actually.
I think they kind of got famous, or at least in my experience, I got seeing them from doing the elevated trackage for subway systems and stuff.
Yeah, they do that.
Kind of notoriety for that.
It's kind of a specialty thing, but yes, they do make that as well.
That was one of their first products, or at least when I first, it was an early product, because when I first found out about them, they had that and only a couple other things. And even like that hotel, the pictures on there kind of just show the entryway to it. They don't really show the whole structure in its glory, but
They do on the website.
well, they may have updated that since I last looked too. But there was a time when it had a kind of a distant picture, and then that area right at the front porch of it, but nothing to kind of no good front and center shot.
Andy, when was the last time you were on their website?
164 hours. I'm not really sure. I don't remember.
Okay,
but
if it's more than 6 months,
no,
they have a new website.
That's good. I'm happy to hear that. I'll go check that out.
Because they have a guy that's helping develop and build a bunch of kits for them, and he's an excellent builder and does a really nice job with the weathering and stuff. So they have a lot of different versions of their kits on the website now.
I think their products are right up there with. I mean, it's them and Monster Model Works and Nick and Nora's. There's these few cottage industries that have just absolutely excelled, come onto the scene from nothing a couple years ago, and are now right on par with any of the top builders in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
And I want that Nick and Nora kit, but they discontinued the coal tipple, the coal loadout that I wanted to purchase. They discontinued it, so I've been shopping eBay for it. But those gained popularity quick enough to become collector's items, and not after 20 years. See you, Andrew. Then good luck.
Take care,
Yeah,
Andrew. Good to see you, buddy.
It's going to be a busy weekend this weekend for me.
Have a good one, Andrew.
Hey,
Yeah.
Andrew, you're still getting in the regular chats during the week?
Yeah, right, yeah.
Okay. I'll look for some. I'm going to try and get in there. I got to try and get all this stuff working anyway. So I'll look
Yeah,
for
well,
you.
the one I tried to start up here in Australia for them, it sort of fell on its nose because they just sort of weren't interested. But,
Yeah. Ron was in that, right?
yeah, Ron was there for a while, but we just couldn't get enough people
Yeah.
to come along to make it worthwhile continuing it. But we'll try again in the new year.
All right. Yeah, I'll catch up with you.
Yeah, mate, I'll be around. Yeah, I've got 3 days of 24 hours monitoring kids' chat room for Scouts worldwide this weekend.
Oh, nice.
So it gets chaotic. You can imagine what it's like when you get about 9,000 9-year-olds on.
Mhm.
And I'll catch you a lot later. Have a good day.
See you, Andrew.
You too,
Good,
Andrew.
Andrew. God bless.
Andy,
Sure.
are you sterilizing all your? What are you using to control your turnouts? They're not CTC. Once they're hooked up.
Mechanically, servos. I've always used tortoises, but all these jokers in this group turned me on to servos, and I couldn't imagine doing it another way now. So. This is everybody talks about how the guys here are so quick to spend each other's money. We are. We help each other out.
Absolutely.
Money. Yep.
Yeah.
No question. But I servos, there's a few other tricks that I have to give them credit for being a massive savings as opposed to the alternative to it. So, but yeah, there's been a lot of money spent at the behest of a few of y'all. So,
Well, you know, we got to save you a little bit so you'll keep letting us spend it.
yeah.
So how are you doing that, Andy? Are you building control boards to do it with, or is it a kit, or what?
So my original plan was to use Tam Valley's controllers to buy it. And my initial goal was, okay, so I come at the hobby from a funny angle. I'm an electrical engineer by training and a computer guy by day. And what I wanted was to get away from that to some degree and do artistic, structures, scenery, etc. However, the further I go down this rabbit hole of building it, the more serious I want to get about it. So recently, I built my own DCC. Well, I mean, it's not by code, but I built a DCC system out of an Arduino using the DCC++ solution using a motor control chip. Works great. It's better. I have a Sprague. I paid money for it. I would buy an NCE if I had a need to. I can't imagine doing any different than this. So I was going to buy Tab Valleys. I have nothing but good things to say about Tab Valley. But as an electrical engineer, since I can do so much with an Arduino, it really seems kind of, I don't know, the antithesis to something in my character to do anything other than build Arduino servo controllers. So,
but if you, okay, so I kind of understand how the Arduino stuff works, but do you have to use a separate controller for each one and use that Arduino chip? I mean, what's the cost for each servo?
Okay, if you use so Wood, you can control any layout with a single Arduino.
Oh, okay. Now, so you're using one Arduino unit and then just wiring out. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now it's really easy to put 16 on a standard Arduino. You can put 16 directly into the pins of standard Arduino. You can put 16 turnouts or 16 input outputs of some sort. Signals, signal heads, sensors.
Does that talk to your DCC unit?
Yep, absolutely. They have a DCC. Okay, so there's two parts. What I'm using here is the DCC base station, using the DCC++ Arduino sketch. But they have a DCC accessory decoder that you just pull it off of Model Railroad Hobbyists forums where they talk about the thing.
How much are those?
Just pull that, download that sketch, drop it on an Arduino. Now, a brand name official Arduino from the Italian company is around $28. This one is an official one, and I use it for testing with and stuff. However, I've got numerous of the $6 Arduinos off the internet. My doorbell hooks to a $6 Arduino. It's been there for 3 years. And every time somebody touches a doorbell, I still get a text message, and it's never failed me. So I don't see any reason to pay more than, and if you buy the $6 one of those and the $8 motor control board, you're $15 basically in a DCC system that not only I think is better than most commercial DCC systems, but it does more because you have all these input outputs already built right in.
So are you using a DCC system with that? I mean, like a name brand, like?
Nope. I started out that way. I bought a Sprague, and originally, and a lot of people have heard me say the story, I bought a Sprague thinking I wanted to start programming my locomotives with JMRI and started getting some more experience with the computer side of DCC before I got my layout very far along. Then, as my layout started getting far enough along that I could hook it to the track, I hadn't found a reason to replace the Sprague or buy another.
That's so funny. You just jumped off the deep end then, didn't you? Because that's really, because now you're having more or less to design all of the piece parts of your layout.
Well, and it's not a fit for everybody. I started collecting iPods recently to use as throttles.
Yeah.
So it's not for everybody when they even want to, and this is not the cheapest way to do it, but I'm an Apple guy, but you can go buy $30 kind of pseudo disposable Android phones from Walmart for $30 and make throttles.
So you're an Apple guy. We won't hold that against you.
But that's still, Andy, that's still really cool. I really like the thought of that. You can really get some customization in that stuff. I think that's way above, that's above me even, I think. Even doing some of the stuff I'm doing,
but I've been looking at your model for the lighting controller that you built using the microcontroller, and me and Barry have had conversations. I had done and he did a show, but I was on talking about the pickaxe controller for doing lighting control, and I could buy an Arduino Nano for about $3, and I'm going to shove one in the base of every structure on my layout. I originally had this plan of running 8 bus wires through the layout so I could trigger different lights at different times, and there would be 8 different cycles. But now, with Arduinos for $3 or $4, why not just shove one in the base?
Is that a name brand Arduino for $3 now? Or
no, you're going to be buying
That's a China.
It is. Yeah. But if you're going to buy a whole lot of them, they're $3.
Man, you and me need to get together because I want to pick your brain some more about that because, I'm still kind of at the beginning stages of all that, and I like the thought of Arduino because there's so many more people involved with Arduino and the programming and the
Yep.
design of different boards and stuff. A lot of the stuff that I did with the microprocessors I was doing, man, I was having to figure it out myself, So,
Yep.
but yeah, we'll plan on hooking up, Andy, because I really want to pick your brain on. I don't want to. It'll get too deep for this, I think. Here.
No, there's a show coming up in November. It's Barry's show. He does the electronics, of course, but I'll probably be on that. I'm going to be on that show too because me and Barry have talked about it. So it'd be, be good to have you do that too. But I want more people to try the Arduinos and be less because you don't have to do it from scratch. All the code's out there.
Well, I would think that, and this is just my thought, that if, like with me, if you said, okay, look, here's what you buy, here's the programs for it,
Yeah.
all I'd want to do though is I want to be able to communicate with my DCC system to be able to control lighting and servos. So, servos and switches, but
and the accessory decoder is trivially easy. Now, the DCC base station is a little more involved, but when my motor control shield come in from eBay, in 15 minutes, I had a working DCC system. Anybody else might take a little longer, but it's just following the steps. But the accessory decoder,
are you doing any videos on this stuff, like any kind of spoon feeds or anything to?
I've done a lot of it live. I was live when we did but it wasn't recorded live, but it was live when I actually got that DCC system with my motor control shield come in from China. I actually hopped on a live feed, did it live on the channel. But
did you see this, Bill?
Yeah.
Still trying to get Andy to do videos.
And the sad thing is I've recorded a whole bunch of videos. I've recorded videos of the tree manufacturing process I've been doing with sagebrush trees. And I've done some on the ballasting technique where I use concrete and stuff to make my ballast with. And I've recorded those videos, but actually having the time to sit down and edit those, I give you all the credit in the world for that. I've said it numerous times. The time it takes to turn some snippets into something that I feel good about putting out.
Takes a while.
And I can. I've got a degree.
But most all of that stuff, though, Andy, is that stuff we can find all over the place. The stuff that you guys are doing with these Arduinos, that's if you go search for microcontrollers and switching controllers and lighting controllers for layouts using Arduinos, there's not very many videos out there. So I think you'd have a real winner on a YouTube channel that just focused on something like that. Sure. I believe that. Now, I mean, I can appreciate doing live shows on that stuff, but there's nothing better than going to a good edited video that that shows how to do something like that. And I'm stupid whenever it comes to a lot of this, so I gotta have step-by-step stuff.
But there's a place for each. There's a place for live video and a place for produced video. Live video has a certain quality in the interactivity of it that I really enjoy. And live video, if I'm going to look at one technique to do something, I want to go look at the Terrain Tutor or one of those guys. When I'm trying to figure out static grass, I want to go watch these pre-produced videos. I don't care as much about the file.
Now, I'd be really interested in seeing that Arduino stuff. That sounds like it's right up my alley.
I might interject, Mike, I've been looking at those two on YouTube, YouTube channel. There's about 4 or 5 Arduino videos out there right now. However, what you're getting at, what Andy should be doing about switches and all that stuff, not much of that. Just Arduino only. Dave
Bednar has done some videos, but they've been largely targeted around the base station, and he's building handheld DCC controllers.
Yes.
But as accessory decoders, there's a lot of textual documentation, but there isn't a lot of video on it. And the lighting controllers, which was my first foray to it, the reason I found every one of you guys, the reason I found this channel, the first video I seen from anybody in this community was Mike's channel on lighting boards. That was my first video I found on YouTube.
Oh, you're talking about the microcontrollers on my channel?
Yep, that's how I found your whole community and found every one of you guys, because I was looking for the right way to do that next to 2 years ago when I was planning this layout out and figuring what I needed to do for wiring. That's how and I found this whole community off of that project.
Oh, so wow. I'm sorry about that, guys. I didn't mean to bring Andy.
Yeah, we got you to blame for that.
Hey, Dave, how you doing?
What are you working on, Ralph?
Pretty good.
I'm working on a resin motor.
Motor?
Yep.
Like for a load or something, or what?
No, it's an old rotary airplane motor. It'll be a load.
Oh, okay.
How'd you come out with your LEDs you were working on? Ralph, did you just order one?
What's that?
You just order some more LEDs?
It's that southern twang. What is it? What was that again?
I understood him fine.
You said I had an accent, but go ahead. Say it again.
I do have an accent. I can't fight that. But your LED dilemma you were fighting, did you just order some replacements, or did you? Okay.
I ordered some last night. I don't know when they're going to arrive, but tomorrow I go out in the car to find some.
Yeah. See, there's not a great, as many people are doing stuff with LEDs, there's a lot of textual content on it. But the truth is, Mike's got a real good point. There's not a lot of video content on how to parallel or serial attach LEDs to how to do that, what to do. So, anyway.
Check the chat over Andy. See if that's a website you've seen before. Dave just posted it.
I just did that. I don't know if any of you guys seen the video on putting LEDs in a True Line train caboose. And I use those nano LEDs that are pre-wired and have the bridge rectifier and everything already in there. And for the money, I mean, you get 5 of them for $16. Now, that's a lot more, probably a lot more expensive than buying the individual LEDs and so forth. But it saves you so much
aggravation.
Time and effort.
Those things are not easy to solder wire to.
No, exactly. So it's all soldered. You don't have to worry about the polarity because you got a rectifier in there, and you can hook it right up to a 12-volt source, and away you go.
Yeah, and if you buy those nanos with the leads already soldered on them, you can buy them kind of in bulk from China. They're not that much more, but
That's
you've
right.
got to figure your time as being worth something. So
20 for $4.
right, and you got to figure your time as being worth something. So I don't care how cheap you get standard LEDs, I'm not doing the soldering for those.
Yeah.
Oh,
I probably have 1,000 of those small LEDs that I bought, and a bunch of magnet wire. And every time I think I'm going to start working on that, I look at that magnet wire and think, "Oh, I'm going to do this later."
Yep. But if you had LEDs with the leads already on them, and all you had to kind of do is drop it into an Arduino or something, you'd be much more likely to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't know for $16 for 5 though, because I'm poor. I can't afford that.
No, you buy them for what do you say they were, Ralph? 20 of them for $4?
Yep.
Oh, that's much better.
And it's usually free shipping.
We're not talking about the Woodland Scenics ones.
Yeah.
No.
No. Now, even Miles has actually done quite a bit of testing. He works with Woodland Scenics on a lot of projects, and he is quite fond of their controller, as am I. I think it's not a bad deal for a lot of people to buy their little controller because it does the pulse width modulation to be able to dim LEDs. And that's a lot more complicated, of course, but then a lot of people realize you can't dim an LED exactly in the traditional sense. But you can buy that controller and hook a whole bunch of LEDs to it, and you can go buy them from other vendors.
You guys use any metric measure at all?
Metric? I heard of that.
I heard of that. Well, okay, I'm gonna share this screen with you.
Yeah, I can do a little metric.
So that is a metric ruler, and those are the product numbers of the LEDs.
Wow.
The size of them. So
That-
0402 is the ones that Steve is talking about,
God.
like a 0.5 millimeter.
Ralph, post that to the community. That's a pretty good picture there.
I don't know how to put a picture onto the chat.
You can't
Not
put it in
in
your
chat.
chat.
Put it on the community, the model railroaders.
Yeah, the Google Plus page is what he's talking about. That'd be awesome to have that.
Oh, okay. If I can, I still can't figure that page out. But anyway, yeah, I can do that. Yes.
Well, if your YouTube channel is linked to the Google Plus, anytime you post anything in YouTube, it'll go to Google Plus.
If that's just being a picture, there's not a great way. That's all right. If you haven't posted it by next time I catch you on a chat, we'll figure out. I'll show you how to do that.
I can put it on my Facebook page, the Weathering Facebook page, if anybody wants that.
Yeah, it's a lot easier. Yeah, those are great for like ditch lights and stuff too.
And they come in all the different colors as well. Warm white, bright white, red, blue, purple, green.
I got a couple of comments here, and one of them, Ralph, I think will be good for you to answer. First off is Too Fast, Two Track. How you doing tonight? I believe this might be your first time. He's saying that's how I found this community too, was through Mahler Man Mike. And also we have Mahler's Point. I have a question. Will it be a problem if I try to weather with some real rust, like in dust form, instead of conventional colored chalk powder?
What do you think, Steve? I wouldn't use real rust. You don't have control over it.
That's funny that comes up. We talked about that last night. That was Ralph talking about that last night, I think.
It's liable to continue on rusting because it's excess to moisture. There's a product that I was using called Sophisticated Finishes, and it's a two-part system where you paint this paste of very, very fine iron filings onto whatever you want to put your weathering, and then you come back with the second product, and it's I think it's an acid, because within seconds you can see the metallic starting to rust, and it looks great. And it was meant to be put on clay pots to make them look like cast iron. Well, I did a gondola with that, and did the inside of it, and it looked great. Well, I put it away for 6 months, and when I pulled it back out again, the rust had kept on growing. It had all little rusted fingers growing out of the gondola. I had to use a toothbrush to break it all down. So you got to be careful using real rust, because it will backfire on you.
Big Bill, you've used that product on your bridges, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I did it, and it worked out pretty good. I haven't had any issues with it. It's been over a year now on the bridges and some structures and some boxcars.
Yeah, okay. He didn't say what it is he's going to weather. So, and Ron, we'll see you later. He's having to go back to work. So, you have a good day, Ron. We'll catch you later on. Good to see you again.
Don't work too hard.
You did that on your bridge, Bill. Did you seal it afterwards?
Yes, I did. I put what I did was there were 3 bridges. I was going to do the Central Valley Bridge.
Uh-huh.
I needed to do 3 bridges to span 5 feet. So I didn't do the Central Valley, a little too labor intense. So I went with the Walters Bridge, and then when I did as I was building the Walters Bridge, I was doing the Sophisticated Finish and spraying it with the matte finish.
Okay.
And then after it was all put together, then I would dust it,
Ralph, I got a question for you, or refresh my memory. The night we talked about weathering, your experience was that chalk. You didn't like the chalks because as soon as you touch something, you've ruined what you just put on. You preferred paints. Is that correct?
That's you were referring to chalks, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of hard to seal chalks,
Right.
or pastels, whatever they want to call them,
Mm-hmm.
because when you do it, it sort of blows them away. But if you use paint pigment and you scrub it in, it usually stays, even when you put your protective coating on it.
Okay, that's what I thought you said. Yeah.
And to let you guys know, since we do have the new Google, everybody on the panel, when you type in on the chat, it does show up on the screen. Just to let you know. So if you want to post websites or whatever, they'll be good because they will show up in the video.
Just
That's
for a
good,
brief
though.
moment.
Video.
Okay.
I like that because it didn't do that before.
Yeah. No, it
It's
didn't.
just for a brief moment. It'll pop up at the bottom. It's enough for
Yeah.
somebody to pause it and catch it if they want it.
Yeah, be able to pause the video when they're watching, then they can write it down and go to it.
And it's not official that it works that way. It's kind of a byproduct of something else. They have a way to do it where we can actually have lower thirds with those things popping up, but it's rather intense to put together. And, you know, if you have a production crew like CNN, you can do a whole lot of stuff with live video. If if you're one fella trying to pull it off, it's a little harder.
Unless you're Miles Dale.
Hey, Bill, I did text you. I don't know if you can see that text or not, but
Did you text? I don't know. You didn't text it to this number. I ain't got it.
no, on here, on this.
He put it in the chat, Bill.
I don't have a cell phone.
He put it in the chat, Bill.
Hey, Bill, you going to be on the while you going to the after show? No, I am not going to the after show with you. I will not go on the after show with you because I do not want. No, see, some of you guys are laughing out there, but let me tell you a story here. When I first met this man, he would get on the show. He'd be in South Korea, and in South Korea, when he was on, it was 10 o'clock in the morning. And it was like 1 o'clock in the morning here on the East Coast. Me and Johnny would be on, and where you see me sitting right now, I would say I gotta go, and Mike would say, no, Bill, one more thing, and I wait, and then he'd wait, and then he'd see the sun rising and shining in my living room, and he'd go, "Is that the sun coming up, Bill?" And I'd say, "Yes, it's 6:30 in the morning." He goes, "Okay, I gotta go and eat lunch now. Bye." So this is why you guys, because when he says you're going to be on the after show, I know what his deal is. Yeah, let's catch up. Let's do this. Next thing I know, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. My day's shot. I'm sleeping all day. Yeah. My friend, my buddy.
I'm in Dallas now, though.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little sleepy now. I might have to just go. Now we need to catch up sometime, though.
Yes, we do, brother.
You are an hour behind us.
You want to be on the show this Saturday night?
You know, I need to find out from Tina if we're going dancing or not. If we're not, then absolutely. I'll find out if I'm supposed to take her dancing this weekend.
Here's plan B. Johnny, Andy. Do a Q&A.
Well, I think the plug fell out of my headset. Hang on, let me see if I can go find it.
Do you know what happened last month, Mike? I went looking for people to be on the show, right? Prior to September. Call this guy up in Cincinnati, Ohio. I said, "Hey, would you like to be on the YouTube Model Builders show? You were on it before." And he goes, "Yeah, I'd love to be on it. I want to do that I got that switching layout thing I want to do. I think Alan McClellan did, or I want to do that whole switching thing and show it and how to do it." I said, "Great." He says, "When's the show?" I said, "September 15th. He goes, I can't do it, Bill." I said, "Why?" He says, it's bowling league, opening bowling league that night. my bowling league starts. I said, okay, no problem. So I go through my Rolodex. I pick out a guy from Milwaukee, call him up. Hey, you want to be on the live show this September? Yeah, I'd love to be on that show. Really? What can we do? I go through the whole thing. He said, when is it? I said, September 15th. He goes, that's my bowling night. He says, bowling league opens that night. I called 5 guys all over the United States, and that was the bowling league, opening bowling that night. And I called a friend of mine in Staten Island, and I said, is bowling league officially open September? And he, before I even said, he goes, the weekend of the 15th. That's when it officially starts. That's when we kick off. I said, throughout the United States? He goes, I don't know about the United States. I know in Brooklyn it does, but I'm assuming that's when the season officially starts for everybody. So I had 5 guys bowling.
Weeknights are actually better for me for this kind of stuff. Weekends are just really a lot of family time, I don't know how to explain that.
We're family.
Yeah. You won't even stay up all night with me.
I used to.
Yeah, you did.
But I'm older now, and I'm wiser.
This is the extended family.
Different kind of family, not the kind of family that you want to go take dancing, or the kind of family that gets mad at you if you don't take them dancing.
Well,
so keep that woman happy.
We're the kind of family. We're a dysfunctional family because we put the fun back in dysfunction.
There you go.
Well, I know that when I dig around through YouTube a lot, and me, I mean, I wanted to get into all this when we originally started all this to promote YouTube and YouTube videos, the creation of YouTube videos, and like the live show, that's what that was about. Now, I've watched a few of those live shows, and I'm looking for primo YouTube channels to go to, and I don't even really see much of that, and I don't have time to. I don't really have
people. And there's people doing it right. There's Luke Towns, and Joey Ricards, and Treymaster TV that's doing some YouTube stuff like Ken Patterson stuff. There are some out there, but I can count all the ones that I call quality actually Muskokie Steve, he does really good YouTube channels, but I can count those good model railroading channels. I'm subscribed to 500, but I can count on 2 hands, if not one, the ones that I would consider up to my standards. And if I'm going to do it, and I went to school for it, I got a degree in audio video production arts. If I'm going to do it, I have a tendency to do things ever so slightly overboard. So if you're going to do something, I believe in doing it right. Anything worth doing is worth overdoing.
Well, Mike, I hear where you're coming from, but I had to thumb it down because after the first top-notch YouTuber I went to contract, and he wanted me to sign contracts and have sparkling spring water in his dressing room and have M&Ms and take all the brown M&Ms out.
No, you're right.
You know what? I'm going with the regular model. I'm going with the regular guy. I try to encourage him to put his YouTube channel up, put it out there, put it on the thing. But trying to get these guys that got over 5,000 subscribers, trust me when I tell you, I went to one guy's got 25,000 subscribers. 3, not 1, not twice, but 3 times. And the brother told me, nah, I don't think so. I really don't need you.
We need more. You guys done a show on Adobe Premiere or whatever several years ago. Was a great show. We need some more of that. I know it's not exactly model railroading, but it's in the same spirit of what you're trying to do. If we did a little bit more stuff to take the fear out of people shooting a quick video with their phone, and these phones iPhone 7's got a great camera, a great video on it. And you could shoot and I've got a tripod for mine, you could shoot a pretty good video with just this. If people would do it, if they weren't afraid of it, I think.
Yeah, that was that Pinnacle show Mike and I and Bob did.
Yeah, Pinnacle, that's right. It's a good show. And if we did, I'm not saying you do that as a regular thing, but if you did a couple more of those and kind of brought people to speak, I think you'd get more people doing it.
I want to jump in here. I want to jump in here real quick. I don't know how long Mahler's Point will be able to stay with us, but just finish him real quick. Ralph, he said even if he uses clear polish to seal it, will that
Clear?
rust? Yeah.
What kind of polish is he talking about?
He's saying clear polish. I would imagine something like fingernail polish, maybe, or something like that, or maybe clear coat.
Maybe he's talking about that floor finish. The thing is, when you do a weathering job, you don't want it to be glossy. It's usually dull or matte, and polish suggests to me that it's glossy.
Yeah.
Well, and if the problem with the Real Rust product is, and I've been curious, that's why I thought this was so funny. We talked about this last night. If the Real Rust has a problem with attracting additional moisture, moisture will condensate through surfaces. It condensates through metal and glass. The moisture will still continue to attack that rust, I would say, chemically.
Plus, on top of all of that, you stand the chance of having some of that rust drop onto your tracks, and it still conducts electricity.
Wow.
And you don't want to have that, especially if it's going to interfere with the mechanism in your trucks on your engines.
Well, and my fear probably in that same vein would not be as much to conduct electricity, because I use graphite on my rails, which
it's also magnetic.
But it's magnetic. That's right. It'll get into the speakers and motors of your equipment. Yep. And it'll carbonize and get on the wheel sets and cause them to be dirtier track up worse. I can see the limit. We didn't go through all this last night, but I posed this question last night too.
I learned a long time ago that trying to cut corners to do things with the stuff you had around the house is not always the best. It may look good at the time, but it's just a stopgap, because it ends up causing more problems than you really want to deal with.
Actually costs you more money in the long run.
Exactly. So if you go out and spend the money on a good product to do the weathering, the proper powders, the paint pigments, the artist oils and gouaches, you're laughing.
I'm recently, Ralph, I have to tell you, I've started getting into the oils, but what I've started doing is I just started practicing on
a blue box.
Yeah, I just, I haven't really been, just trying it out on there, and I got this one boxcar downstairs that I just have the shell of it, and I just work on that, and it's like once I've used every conceivable spot of it, I prime it again and just go right back to doing it, and just trying to get a feel for the paint and different texture and what levels of acetone and stuff like that, using it. It seems to be working out pretty good. I'm just trying to get a feel, and the different brushes, because I've come to realize having a good oil brush is paramount to getting the job done. Because I went with the $1.99 packet, and I was starting to realize that the bristles themselves were flaring out after a while, and when they flared out, I was getting paint where I didn't want paint.
Yep.
So
they're good for doing grime, putting the grime on, but they're not good for finessing it off.
Right, exactly. So I went and I made an investment in some halfway decent brushes. So I think that's important. But practice, as the man said to me, how do I get to Carnegie Hall? Practice, practice, practice.
Yep. The more you practice, the more confidence you build up. The more I took the box cars and so on. I had just bought a Broadway Limited Mikado. And I thought to myself, I was just starting in the weathering, and I thought to myself, there's no friggin' way, after paying $400 for this engine, am I going to make it dirty? And if I screw it up, then I'm really done. It'll look like shit. So practice on the boxcars. I have no problems attempting any engine now.
Right. And the amazing thing is when you we go to great lengths to build these layouts, whether it's 4x8 sheets of plywood and we scenic it and everything. But I think the final is putting those trains on it, and if your trains are realistically weathered, I think it all blends together. I mean, when people come into the layout and they see my layout, they go, wow, but they really don't, they see the trains last. What they see is the buildings, the weathered buildings, everything, and then they see the train, So it's a complete work of, in my opinion, it's a complete work of art.
Yeah.
That they see. The canvas is coming alive,
Well, it's funny because I tried to promote my weathering to Model Railroader. They didn't want any part of it. I did it with Craftsman. They didn't want any part of it. I knew some guys that were going down to the Fine Scale show, and I sent an email to Jimmy Dagan, and I said, here's my proposition. I'll do a clinic for you. It won't cost you a thing. I just want to attend the show. And he said, well, no, we don't this is a structure show. We don't weather cars and so on for this show. I said, okay, let me explain to you what I see. Every time I open up a magazine, a national magazine, I look at the front page or any of the magazines. 9 out of 10 times, the buildings are beautifully weathered and to the nth degree. And then you look at the engine that's going by and it looks like a toy because it has nothing done to it, not even dull coat.
Yeah, it's pristine. So
I said to him, if you're going to go through that extent to do all of that to your buildings, you owe it to yourself to weather your rolling stock. He says, I'll get back to you. I have to talk to the rest of the group. It wasn't an hour. He called me back. He says, okay, you're in. So I did my clinic twice. And it turned out good as far as I was concerned.
Yeah, no, I think it's a piece of canvas that moves, and I think it all blends together. That was deep, right, Mike? Did you hear that? That was deep, man. I'm about as deep as a 6-inch puddle, bro.
And I think weathering was somewhat controversial some years ago, and in some circles like Model Railroader, weathering is still controversial. In most of the mainstream Model Railroad hobbyists and those kind of circles, weathering is kind of the accepted reality and kind of looked down upon if you're not doing it. And I totally agree with you, Bill. As deep a concept as that is, weathering is that one thing that makes it cohesive. In the absence of weathering, it's not cohesive.
I think that Ralph makes a very good point. Getting turned down by those other magazines. I think that if you step back from those magazines, you'll look what they're trying to sell. They're not trying to sell.
They sell themselves.
Right. They're not selling They're not selling the hobby. They're selling the merchandise that's in the magazines. See, they don't want, because guys like you and Steve and Mike and Andy and those you guys, you make it, and George Cilios, all those guys that are up there, Miles Hale, you make the railroad come alive. See, they don't want that, because what happens, the average guy looks at something like you do, Ralph, and they pick it up and they go, oh, I can't do that. And they'll put the magazine down and they won't buy it. See, they want that average Joe to pick it up. But what they don't realize is once it's like fishing, man. Once you got that thing on the hook and you got it going, this is where your progression goes,
Exactly right.
Well, there's a lot of other subjects that fit in that same niche. You don't hear a model railroader do a lot about operations or about anything else. They target the sale of products. And even the layouts they show are not typically the Craftsman layouts. They're the layouts that are really good showpieces for product merchandise. They're typically used in pretty, a certain type of scenery materials, etc. Whereas if you go to some of the other things like Trademaster TV and Model Railroad Hobbyist and those, they show a wide gamut of stuff from product merchandise that's purchasable to all kinds of craftsman and fine scale products that can be made, some from household products, some from Hobby Lobby. They're not great at selling product, but I think they do a great service to the hobby at large.
Yeah, let me say something on that real quick, because I don't really necessarily want to get on my soapbox, but I mean, it's generally, you know what, if you have a bigger company that you can tell they have a whole lot of money, that's generally a company that is making money off the product. So, like, and I'm not going to mention any big company names, but for the most part, what I found is if it's a big company and they're pushing products, it's generally a product that they're trying to sell. They're not trying to show you the best method of doing something. They're just trying to sell products, you know. And like I say, I'm a little reluctant to mention names of magazines and companies, but that's the truth. And the fact of the matter is, that's the core reason why I got into this YouTube stuff, because it's people like us that sit down and experiment with stuff and come up with the best methods. So and we learn from each other what we're trying to find out, rather than going to a big publicized magazine that's trying to sell specific products. So
You take the hobby to a whole different level.
Well,
yeah,
YouTube democratizes the hobby. It puts it back into our hands or into any of the modelers' hands to be able to control what we're doing, as opposed to any manufacturer or magazine or manufacturer that doesn't have a financial reason or any reason it's in the interest of their company to really encourage the hobby unless it's selling product. And what's good for us is just modelers. Buy, build, whatever, just model.
we just want to model. It's the best product for what we have. Now, I saw in here, I was on the other, I'm on the other channel here, or that's the other channel. I'm typing in this thing, and I see a question here from Modeler's Point, and I know Johnny's probably going to get to it, but
well, I was trying about the ballast.
Yeah,
because Andy's going to take off on that.
Go ahead.
I'll comment on it first.
Well, we got to get the question out there first.
Let me see if I can put my thumb on Andy.
Mahler's Point, his question is, how does the color of the ballast change with the region we want to model, like say near the station? We generally see dark gray ballast.
Now,
Hi,
see,
Mike.
Yeah, I'm going to try, and I'm no expert on this, and I think Andy will probably disagree with me on this, but generally ballast is I'm going to say made. It's like crushed out of rock from the area wherever they're laying the track. So, and generally they'll like roll it in from big quarries or wherever they're collecting it from. So generally you see the same color rock from the area that track's being laid from, or now when you have, like what you're saying, darker ballast near like engine houses and stuff, that's just dirt, oil, grime, and stuff from engines and stuff that's around there. So
yeah, it also depends on the railroad. They'll ship a couple miles, maybe, depending what they want to use too. And if you look back in earlier, as the darker the track was with really old air, like where I'm modeling and Andy's modeling, it would be cinders for the yard
on the sides.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's when they were running steam.
But just on the sides, and you wouldn't consider the cinder to be ballast. It's only to control overgrowth. But ballast, as Mike hit that the nail on the head with both of those really is that railroads don't like to pay, even though they're in the shipping business, don't like to pay unnecessary money for shipping. So it's normally regional. There's a few exceptions to that rule where a few railroad companies have used their ballast color as somewhat of a marketing color, like the Chicago and Northwestern using a pink color. They ballasted all of their lines at whatever distance they were, basically. They run about a wood quarry outside of Chicago of a pink limestone, and it was pink, but that's a rare exception.
I don't know what NS uses for ballast, so it's like a dark color, though I know CSX uses local limestone. I don't know what NS uses.
NS will use cheap stuff too. Whatever they can get the cheapest, the closest, that's roughly what they need.
Yeah, it's right here around me. I think I got about 5, 6 rock quarries.
I think you're also going to find out it's probably a maintenance and staffing issue.
Yep.
Where because it's a station, the station's in use every day, more than once or twice, and can't afford to have downtime unless there's a spare track.
Yeah.
And so it's going to remain old ballast and old ties unless it goes really bad.
Yeah, and they're doing slower speeds in those areas, so they don't have to maintain it. You'd think in front of a depot or at a station stop, you would maintain it to a higher level, but it's exactly the opposite. What you maintain to the higher level, especially in the days when they run trains at 70, 80, 90 miles an hour, is the open main lines out in the middle of nowhere where the heaviest or the most perfectly maintained. So, boy, ballast has been a popular subject for like a year now.
I still don't know what I forget what they use for sheep. Though CSX, they run a stone train out of a local like transfer facility down here, where I actually up here where you live down. I gotta remember. Though they haul a limestone out of it, and it's pretty much from all different quarries, and they ballast with that, I think, too.
I mean, there's everything under the sun. You go look at narrow gauge lines in the 30s and 40s. They pushed dirt up over it. You know, I mean, it's what does it take to do the job, and what's the cheapest thing they can get a hold of. The railroads think of economy more than anything else.
So I have and I'm Johnny. I'm not trying to overstep, and I hope you don't feel like I am. But
No, go ahead.
The Redneck Railroad had commented out here on the about the pro mags and stuff, and yeah, let me just say this: you're exactly right. I mean, as much as I say about that, or that doesn't mean that I don't go and look at some of that stuff, because I do. They do have their place. So I agree with that. And I could also say that I've absolutely learned more from modeling anything to do with model railroading. I've learned more from surfing the web and YouTube videos. Granted, whenever I first started in this, there weren't very many YouTube videos on model railroading, but the ones that I did find were always more helpful than what I found in a lot of magazines. Now, I don't personally subscribe to any magazines, so maybe there's stuff out there now that's much better, but yeah, I've learned more, and I think most people that you talk to in this circle of people, they'll tell you that they've learned a lot more from this group of people than any pro stuff.
Yeah, another good thing is we're ad free. Another good thing is we're ad free and no subscription.
Yeah, I sound like I was coming down hard on Model Railroader, but I have a Model Railroader subscription I pay for every month. I've had it for 30 years. I still have it. I still I find inspiration from it, and occasionally I find a technique, but it's an occasionally that I find a technique.
Now, you had the video too, didn't you?
I did have Video Plus. That's one of the subscriptions I dropped. I would gladly pay for it, but I pay for Trademasters TV video. I pay for Model Railroad Academy video. I pay for Model Railroader magazine, and if Model Railroad, and I pay for NMRA membership, and I mean it's just I don't have a problem buying and Netflix and Hulu and I mean it's just all these bills. I don't have any problem. I would pay for it if Video Plus gave me much, and I would drop Model Railroader, except for I've had a subscription to Model Railroader for 30 some years. So even the years that I was away chasing cars and working on girls, I still kept my Model Railroader. Something like that.
Working on girls, I think is what I heard.
Yeah.
I can assure you, if he had a subscription to Model Railroader, he probably didn't have any girls he was working on.
No,
I'll take that.
I was an armchair modeler, like a lot of people. That's what happens to us at a certain point in our life. We get more interested in girls' cars, college, careers, etc. And I armchaired it for a number of years, but I still kept my MR subscription. I'm not anti-MR, but I am very realistic about their place in the hobby. They are a place for inspiration and for product reviews, and I do get some inspiration from some of it, and I get some editorial content. But for building technique, for learning how to do something or finding something unique as a skill or way to do something, that is the last place I expect to find a really awesome technique. That's not their niche in the hobby. Railroad Model Craftsman is a little bit that way, but YouTube and this community has been the thing that has enlightened me the most, and not always because all the guys here had the answers. A lot of times it was the questions that we all talked about and figured out a way to do. It's like we were talking about trees for months and months and months about trees.
Months, yeah.
And I built all these different techniques to build
I see
trees.
them back there.
Oh, that's just little trees. That's not these big, this is a little tree too. These sagebrush trees with real bark and,
Wow.
I mean, we talked about it forever. And I built, and it's not because the guys had the answers, but because we spent so much time talking about it, I had to try a bunch of techniques. So that's why I like interactive video real good.
Yeah. Well, see, you're real good about researching stuff like that, Andy, and just beating something to death to get the best result. And that's why I keep hammering you about putting videos together about what you're coming up with.
I agree with you. That's why I cut some video.
It's like a broken record, it just skip.
Full circle. I'm all for it. I just it's I'm on here a few times a week as much as I can. But anytime I'm in here modeling, I hop on the Hangout. So I've got that. And I'm still punching 60 to 70 a week at work. So when we get off in a few minutes, I'm going back to work for a little bit. So
yeah.
Well,
I do know it takes a long time. to put videos together and stuff.
I've got one partially. I've got a project open where I've been editing my ballasting video because I use an unusual technique of I use Portland cement and dry latex polymer adhesives and all that stuff in my ballast, and I put it down dry and brush it in perfectly in place, and then just soak it down with alcohol, and it dries hard, so it stays in place and it doesn't float. I also use rock. So anyway, but I put grass under it so it comes up through the ballast and all that. I videoed that. Each of the segments that I was doing, I well lit it with a big professional light, and a good camera and everything. But the editing process is time consuming.
It is.
Well, for a nominal fee there, Andy.
And as Model Man Mike said, it's like a skipping record.
I think Bob and I might be able to help you out a little bit.
And like I said, the sad thing is I went to school for it and got a degree in audio video production arts. However, when I went to school for it, we did a lot of it on a computer, but it was still long enough ago that we spliced tape. I mean, that was not the whole of the career, but they were still teaching that method when I went to school for it. So it was, a year or 2 or 3 ago.
Oh, real quick, Andy, after the show, just hang around for about a minute or two.
All right.
What's that, Newcastle?
Andy, with the art servos, do you have to have like some kind of control board to make them stop in a certain position, or how
Yeah.
does the
Yeah, you do, but that's the reason that I went to servos is because you could say there's two ways to say something. You could say I have to do something, or you could say I get to do something. So a lot of people have to travel for work. I get to travel for work. Those are two very different things. Having to travel for work means you're in crappy hotels and all kinds of other stuff. When I travel for work, I charge a lot of money and I do it right. I feel the same way about the servos and all that stuff. Yes, you have to do it. I would say you get to. I
they're
headlight
not
track.
like the tortoises?
Well,
they're not
tortoises are fine. I've always used tortoises. But with the head leg track I'm doing, especially the head leg track using adhesives, it's very sensitive to overpressures, throwing those rails out. And the servos, while some would say you have to, I get to control that servo's throw in a way that's much more refined than what would be the case with any other solution.
Yeah, you control the throw and the torque on some of them.
That's right. How hard it's pushing, how fast it moves, where it stops, where the center is, you get to control all that stuff. And I like the Arduino method because, you know, I was going to buy Tab Valley, but I like the Arduino method just fine. They're dirt cheap, and it's a lot easier than you would probably think it is. However, Tab Valley sells let's circle back to selling products here again on this medium too. But Tab Valley, I'm not a sponsored person, but Tab Valley sells a great product, and it's trivially easy to use their product. Hook the servo up, twist a few things, and Barry has done shows on it. So you could go back and look at the recordings on Barry's shows, and he'll show you the tricks of that. And it's, in my opinion, it's the way to do it with minimal effort, and it's still, even buying it outright, a lot cheaper than Tortoise.
Real quick, Mahler's Point said, thanks for the info on the Ballast. I really learned some new things. Glad I'm down with the fever, which really is why he got up early in the first place to catch the show. So sorry about the fever, but glad you got to catch the show. And that's what this whole thing's about, is helping people out.
John, it's 12.
What? 12?
I don't know about on your clock though. I think it's time.
Ding dong, it's the witching hour. It's 11 o'clock.
Yes, my clock says it's 12:01, but my recording clock says I've got a little less than 7 minutes left.
Well, good. You weren't going witching tonight anyway, were you?
No, not tonight. But
Hey, Andy,
Sir.
that LED chart, I sent it to you in email.
Beautiful. I'll post it on the channel for everybody because that is a great resource.
Cool.
There's a lot of people, I mean, even if you're not doing all the advanced control of I want to be able to turn lights on and off at different times, especially, you know, in some of these structures that have multiple windows or something. I really want to build little boxes in here and have lights come on and off at different times.
Right.
And there's a lot of ways to do that, but there's not a lot better ways to do it than everybody's going to use LEDs, even if they don't go the trouble of the Arduinos. So sharing information about ways to do the LEDs cheaper than buying, no offense to Woodland Scenics, that's a fine product, but doggone it, that's a lot of money.
hey, Andy,
Sir.
you need to take that building, put another building across the street, build a shadow box with Big Bill in there, shaking his fist out the window, and Mahler Man Mike at the building across the street for keeping him up until the sun comes up.
That's funny. So, Andy, you're going to post that LED thing on the community?
Yeah, I'll post it on the community so you guys can grab it. I'll go look for it here in a second and post it for everybody.
Oh, wow. Mahler's Point, he said it's 9:31 a.m. He's in India. Wow.
Oh, nice.
We got some mileage tonight. Canada, Australia, India.
Hey, we're worldwide. What are you talking about?
Hey, there's some really interesting railroads in India,
It'll
though.
be
Fascinating.
pretty soon from Mars.
And, hey, Gino, how you doing?
Yep.
See, Gino's in here.
Holy cow. I don't see him.
He's in the chat.
Oh. How come you ain't in here with us, Gino?
Yeah, there's a spot for you, brother. There's always a spot for you. We'll find a spot for you.
Yeah. We can kick Mike out.
Yeah, I'll just leave.
No.
I probably should.
No. No. Well, I tell you what. Hey, Mark. Yo, Mark.
Yo, man.
Anybody got an after show going?
Not yet.
You mind spinning one up?
Yeah, then I'll post a link in this chat. You can...
Okay, appreciate it. So, as y'all heard, Mark is going to spin up a after show. He'll post it over on the community page, so anybody interested, y'all can hop over there. But I think we've had another good show tonight for sure. Raymond Johnson, he said it's early 2 p.m. Friday here. He's, Australia. So I want to say thank you to some of these guys, or all of them, and not just some, but all that's participated in the hangout tonight. Kind of run through the list a little bit here. Raymond Johnson, Mahler's Point, Gino's Custom Models, Mahler Man Mike, of course, Redneck Railroader, good to see you again. Lee, good to see you. Not sure if you're on the road or not tonight, but if you are, be careful. Dave was in here too earlier. Too fast, two track. Appreciate you coming in. Ron from Australia was in here for a good while with us. Sparky 107. Appreciate you being in here. Jim, glad to have you in here also. Curtis, appreciate you coming in. Jason, he was here with us for a while. Let's see who all else we got here. Some guy from South Brooklyn Railroad, he was in here for a little bit.
There you go.
Is that one of those islands that's surrounded by water, I wonder?
Actually, yes, it is.
But, we've had a good participation tonight. I was a little worried there at first when it was kind of starting out, but it's wound up to be good. I want to thank everybody on the panel, too. Big Bill, appreciate you coming in. Ralph, Newcastle, Steve, it's always good to see you in here. Mike, glad to see you are back. Got your camera working and your microphone. Mark, good to see you. Appreciate it. Dave, glad to see you made in. Andy, always great having you in here too.
You say that now.
So, with that said, we are hitting the bewitching hours, so just want to say keep checking in on the YouTube modelbuilders.com website for all the latest news and info on the Tuesday night presentations, the e-mag, the live show schedules. And before I get any further in this to get lost again, this coming Saturday, 2 days from today, we got a live show with Big Bill and Barry. That's going to be an interesting show. Barry's next tech show is going to be on 25th of October. That'll be a good one there. He's going to do signaling part 1 in JMRI. The live show is once every month. The eMag is bi-monthly. Comes out every 2 months. Tuesday night presentations are twice a month now, the second and fourth Tuesday. Also, the live show is on the third Saturday of the month. We try to hold to that schedule, but occasionally we do have to deviate a little bit. Not too often. Thursday's general hangouts are, as we all know, each week. You can go to the website, sign up for the eMag to be emailed when it comes out. You'll get email notification. That is PDF files, so you can download it to a variety of different devices now. So you got it with you wherever you're at, be able to read it. This coming Tuesday, October 18, we'll be posting the title to the show and some particulars of the show, but this Friday that's going to be with Miles Hale. He's going to be broadcasting from the Trainmaster TV studio. He's up there doing some videos with them right now, and they were good enough to let him use the studio and the equipment, and we gratefully appreciate that and thank Trainmaster TV for letting him do that. We will be airing that Tuesday night, and that will be at 9 o'clock Central Time, so be sure to check your time zone so you don't miss the show. He and Fran, his wife, are going to be doing a build. Just heard tonight it's going to be a cornerstone, Walther's cornerstone kit. They're going to start to finish on that. So that'll be a very interesting show. We are going to run it here, so we will have a live Q&A or live chat, so you'll be able to ask questions as they are building. They'll be glad to answer them for you and give you a full demonstration on how they're doing it. That's going to be a special event, so be sure to tune in for that one too. So with that said, I appreciate everybody being on the panel tonight. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Well, we only got 1 day left in the week, 2 days from the Saturday show. So everyone be good. Have a good weekend. And we will see you next week, Tuesday night. With that said, have a good one. Bye.
Can't be good. Be careful.